All right, let's finish up our championship weekend breakdowns here on Study Ball with the Rams offense against the 49ers defense. We'll take a look at what the defense does against the 49ers and what are going to be the keys for the Rams and how do you attack it. I know they like to attack down the field with the big plays. They'll have their opportunities to do that as well. But I really think the key, especially early in this game, is if they're going to play coverage, get the ball out quick. Get completions, get completions, get completions, and take your shots down the field when they decide to close the middle and go one-on-one on the outside. Don't have to force it against their shell coverage because they give you a lot of stuff underneath. All right, so here we go. Okay, what do I mean by shell coverage? This is what the 49ers like to do. They like to play cover 4 or a version of cover 4. So these guys are all playing a quarter of the field, and it leaves 1, 2, 3 guys underneath. Now, sometimes they'll roll a corner up to give 4 underneath, and they'll play a half field safety to that side, but they really like to be in some sort of this 4 shell, and they leave the zones underneath. I always like to say that there's 5 zones across the field. And so the more guys you have underneath to cover those 5 zones, obviously the easier it is. And so in the normal quarters coverage, you have 1, 2, 3 guys to cover those 5 zones. So it makes it harder, and you can stretch the defenders. Okay, you drop a 4th guy. Now it's 4 to cover 5. You still can stretch that. And then in cover 2, if you drop 5 guys down with 2 safeties high, it's harder to hit the underneath, and you got to attack over the top. So against quarters, okay, so here it is, right? We're going to run a flat, we're going to run a hook, and we're going to attack them underneath, right? Even here, they drop a defensive lineman out to make it a little bit harder, get that 4th guy underneath, but you see it. That's where the zones are. Everybody else is staying back. Attack them underneath. Good job by the Rams. Matthew Stafford, get it out. Cooper Kupp. We'll take that 6, 7, 8 yards every time. Here's another one. Okay, we're coming out here. This is the one. They decide to roll the corner down. Okay, safety here, quarters here. So that means they're short. We've got 3 receivers over to this side against 2 underneath defenders. Okay, there's your throw again, right here. Okay, this guy widens, take it there, and then work inside. Matthew, I think, thought that safety or that corner was going to play quarters and off and take the flat. He ends up rolling up, so probably should have been on the other side. But you see where those quick throws are when they're playing that soft quarters coverage and keeping those defensive backs down. Okay, here's another one. They're actually going to roll down to the weak side, but that's okay because the front side is still pretty similar in coverage. We're going to do this with all hooks over to this side with those guys soft. Boom, there it is. You could have taken either one of these guys right there. Hit them quick, early. Get the ball out of your hands. Stymie those 4 guys up front by winning underneath because that's what the 49ers want to do. They want to play soft shell coverage as much as possible. Okay, here's another one, right? So even though the safety's coming down late, soft, flat, stick. You got them right there. There's your throws. They're easy. Get a completion. You got it. They're playing soft. Get your 4 or 5 yards on first down. He, some reason, doesn't like this. Gets back to his check down here, which works. Only get a couple yards there, but we're getting positive plays early on. See it up top, too. Corner wants to be off. This guy tucked in. We got the hitch up top. So those easy, quick throws early, I think, will be key for the Rams. Okay, they're going to run some naked bootlegs, but you always worry about these guys up front when you run the naked bootlegs. So what the Rams will do is what we call a naked trail. So they'll put somebody on the edge in the direction that Matthew Stafford is rolling. Okay, so instead of letting this guy get free and maybe get after Matthew Stafford, we'll put this guy on the edge and we'll let him block down. So it's not necessarily a naked bootleg, means we're going to come all down and we're going to leave this guy all free by himself so the quarterback has to worry about him. On these naked trails, we're going to leave a guy presence there so this guy can't, and we're going to just block him a little bit, let our quarterback get outside, and then we will trail off of here as another option for our quarterback. So you see it, play action. You'll see it right here. Push down, making sure my quarterback gets outside. Then once he gets outside, you'll have your flat, you'll have your crosser, you'll have your option. Come back, go to the top. And you see it. Matthew Stafford gets out. Okay, he's got all kinds of room now because we seal the edge and we don't let the pass rushers get after us. Now he's got space to get out here and make the big plays. Hits that second level over to Van Jefferson. Nice 16-yard gain. Here we go again, same thing. Now Cooper Kupp, one of your best players, like to use him in the run game, but he's really smart on these trails. Here he is on Nick Bosa. Push him down, wash him down, wash him down. Let your quarterback get outside, and then you can come off if you want. On this one, they're just going to run a little out with the corner in the over. Come out, pop the little out there, take your 6, 7, 8-yard gains. Beat them with the underneath stuff early. Find ways to slow down their pass rush. Those little chips definitely help. Putting your tight end in positions so these guys can't take the wide rushes also will help. But this will be the other area that the Rams are going to have to win, is what I call red 4. So it's the same thing. It's a quarters coverage down in the red zone. Only 3 guys underneath. Obviously, these guys don't have as much space to cover because they've got the end line behind them so they can be more aggressive. So there's bodies all over. So you got to find ways to isolate defenders, okay? One way, you try to isolate that Mike defender. Do something to hold the safeties, and you isolate this Mike defender, jumping up over the top of him or coming underneath him or double teaming him here over the top and then bringing somebody else inside to try to attack that weakness right there. The other thing you can do is you can push your receivers over to this side and you can attack this defender backside with a couple guys. Oh, you can have your tight end over here and you can do different things. And so you can isolate that one underneath defender that you have to the backside. Okay, so here's a look right here. You go look at the backside. We're trying to stick and go there, and then we're going here and underneath, okay? These guys can be aggressive because they know they've got help over the top with that back end line, and they know you got 2 receivers, so you got to be ready to put this ball on them when you're down here, okay? So there's a chance, backside right there to Cooper Kupp, boom. Got to hit him right now. Got to have the ball out, got to be ready to hit him so he can possibly react and split that, okay? The other side. Okay, the other side, they're trying to do the same thing. They're trying to run what we call a stump, a stick, pump, and then they're going to come with this return underneath it. So they're trying to attack this guy, like I was saying. The only thing I would say right here is you got to get closer to him. Can't leave this much space. So you'll see at the top of the route, see all that space between these two? Okay, Fred Warner wanted to jump that, but then he feels the move, and he's got so much space that he's able to turn and cover this down the field. And even though they try to make that shot, have a chance for it, I mean, it's just tough because he plays it really, really well. So if you're going to run this, we want to get in here and attack this guy. We want to try to get across his feet if we can, force him to go sideways. Now we run away from him. He's got to play flat, and we get over the top of him, and we save ourselves some space here. And then if he wants to run, got to be careful not getting too wide on this either, because the key is we got to get back inside this guy so we can truly isolate this Mike linebacker 2-on-1. Just need a little bit better spacing here if they want to try to get that front side. So again, you see the return coming here, but because he's so wide, K'Wan Williams is still able to hold leverage, and so there's really nothing for Matthew Stafford to hit right there. Tries to force that in there as a shot, but can't get it done. Here we go again. Coming over. Okay, so the 3-on-1. So now, once again, they're trying to isolate this Mike linebacker. They tried to run by him on the last one. This one they're going to push up. They're going to hook it. It's a great throw by Matthew Stafford. Gets him on his back. Just plays, just boxes him out. A good throw right there, but that's what you'll see a lot of teams do, is trying to isolate that guy back into the middle of the field against this red 4. Another thing that I like to do is I like to bring this back here on an angle so we can isolate this guy. We'll get the Mike to turn that way to the 3 receivers. This guy squeezes it. Now you push up and bring this guy right back behind him, and we can isolate the backside. But what they do down here in the red zone, success they have against this red 4 will be key in this game. Here's another one. So you see, they're trying to do it here. They're going to go here and try to get over the top and isolate this guy. They're going to bring this guy with it. I like it. Put him right there. We get a high-low on Fred Warner here. K'Wan Williams understands that and understands the weakness of the defense, so he's going to squeeze with it. What comes open? Right here to the outside. Right there, there it is. Right there, there's the throw. You got a touchdown right here. Now, this is a pure progression, so Matt Stafford is taught to read corner, here, shallow, cross, and this is all the way backside. I think against this red 4, you've got a design play specifically for each individual side. And here, this guy has a chance to cover this. This guy should be sitting outside for the corner. Have to assume the Mike linebacker is going to take that one with depth. And so this, to me, should be a front side read. But the idea is good, and the concept is really good. It's just being able to read it front side instead of worried about the backside, I think puts you in a better situation back there. Tough to see. Maybe they were trying to run this 7 stop here, so they were hoping that this guy widened, that this guy stays outside, this guy stays high, and they got that shot right there. Looks like maybe OBJ is doing that. This guy holds it off, so this is really the throw if you're saying to that side, but as we already talked about, good concept just to read out the front side as well. Okay, and this will be the last challenge for Matthew Stafford is the different change-up looks that they have. So I told you they love to play the shell, and they also love to walk up their linebackers. They walk up, don't know if they're pressuring or they're not pressuring, forces you to see different things. You think you're going to have man on the outside. Sometimes you do, sometimes you don't. So here's a great look. We walk up, boom. We're going to pop back. Okay, we're going to pop back, and we're basically just playing a quarters type look. Once again, these guys run out of here. Get that quarters. Remember, we talked about throwing it underneath. Less guys underneath against quarters. When they pop out, even though they look like you're going to have something quick, they go running out of it to their spots. Be ready to hit those guys underneath. Once again, if you're Matthew Stafford, did a nice job of keeping Aaron Rodgers off balance. Here we go again. See the walk up. What are they going to do? Are they going to bring pressure? Got to be ready for the pressure. Nope. They're running out of it. Boom, 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 boom. Quarters again. Packers trying to run the exact same play, actually. There's guys everywhere, but there's your throw. Back underneath once again. Got to be ready to find those guys underneath, and then they try to get after you up front. Get a sack there by Nick Bosa. Okay, so here we go. Same look. Off of this, right? They can't be lulled to sleep. Oh, every time they do this, they run back into zone. Nope. Here, looks like they're going to. Fred Warner takes a step and a hesitation like he's going to drop back. He's going to come. He's going to come. They're going to create a hot situation here. Then they're going to run out of this. They got to roll back over here, and they're playing basically a man zone principle to the front side, but they've got a free hitter coming here. Off of that, got to be able to see it. Might think you're going to have one-on-one over here when they bring the pressure. They're still able to drop their safety over the top, so it's 2-on-1 there for Devontae Adams. And you got to be ready for those quick throws. Little peek right there, little in right here. Beat the pressure with the throw, but you got to be ready for them to pop out and to come, and you got to have your answers either way. Last one we saw, step out, brought the pressure from the front side. This time they're going to do just the opposite. This time, now they're going to pop out here, and they're going to bring the pressure and bring the free hitter from the backside. Bring the free hitter. Don't really have a quick throw once again because we're chipping to help here. Aaron Rodgers has nowhere to go with the football. Free hitters lead to guys getting on edges and another sack. Okay, so there will be the challenges for that Rams offense. Be patient. Come out early and be patient. Get the ball out of your hands. Attack that zone defense that they want to force you to go 12 plays to score. Too many of us quarterbacks, we get impatient. We want to make the big play instead of taking what's there. The underneath stuff is there when they're playing that shell coverage. When they go to man-to-man coverage, the Rams have done really, really well at attacking down the field, specifically with Cooper Kupp. When they get man-to-man, which is their change-up from that shell look, they'll drop into man-to-man. You got to make them pay when they drop an extra guy into the box to stop the run, or they go man-to-man. You got to make them pay in those situations. Of course, you're going to have to stop those guys up front. So chips, Rams have done a good job trying to chip and get some throws down the field. We saw there with the nakeds, it's a great plan to get out on the edge and move those guys up front, get out on the edge, help with your little trail guy, and then it will be in the red zone. Who wins the red zone battle? You get down there, they'll give you yards between the 20s. Who wins when you get in the red zone? Can you put 7 points on the board instead of settle for 3? And it comes down to being able to attack that red 4 defense that the 49ers are so good at, have such a great feel. But due to that feel, I think there's sometimes you can exploit their guys and how they try to cover the weaknesses of the defense, and then you got to hit them where they're weak. That will be a key for Matthew Stafford, Sean McVay, and this Rams offense.